Alright guys, so one of you tagged me in a video on Twitter that you wanted me to talk about. A video that is going viral about a student that got kicked out of class by a teacher after he stated that he believes that there are only two genders. Now, I'm going to analyze and break down this video, and the reason why is because I think that this video, even though it was filmed in 2019, right? This happened 2019. This happened at a Scottish school in, I guess, Europe, right? And I think that what you're seeing in this video was a precursor to ultimately what would happen in America. I tell you guys this all the time. The woke revolutionaries, the progressives, want our country to be like Europe, right? That's what they want. So when you see things happen in Europe, right? It's only a matter of time before they will become mainstream in the United States. It happens every time, okay? One of those things is trying to restrict our freedom of speech, which, again, in Europe, a lot of these European countries, yeah, they don't necessarily have the same type of freedom of speech that we have in the United States, okay? So in this video right here, what you're going to see is that this school is basically telling this kid that he does not have the freedom of speech to say anything that goes against the authorities. And I want you guys to listen to how this teacher is telling this student that he does not have freedom of speech, that he can't say the things he's saying, because it's downright scary. And it sounds very similar to not just the conversations that we've had about being able to say what you want about the gender conversation. It also plays into not being able to say what you want about COVID, right? The pandemic, okay? And other things that the government has deemed to be true that aren't really backed up by any scientific facts or evidence, but they're saying that it's true. And if you say anything different than that, then you're spreading misinformation or hate speech or yada, 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 right? Again, this right here, this video right here, I think it's a very scary video for multiple reasons, okay? Especially considering the current day context of where we're at, right? So let's go ahead and get into it.
You're entitled to your opinion.
If I am, then why would you kick me out of class? It's not very inclusive of
Can I finish my sentence, please? Not very inclusive. No, I'm sorry. What you were saying was not very inclusive. And this is an inclusive school.
Yeah, how was what I was saying?
Because I was saying that what's wrong with the website is that there are more than one gender in this country.
That's your opinion.
That is my opinion, and that is an opinion which is acceptable in the school. I'm afraid yours, which you're saying that there's no such thing as anyone other than male or female, is not inclusive.
Scientifically, there are just two genders.
Yeah, so I want you guys to understand what's going on here. This teacher is saying that the policy of this school is that there are more than one gender. I think he actually meant to say two genders. But he's saying that that's the policy of the school. And if you say anything other than that, then we're basically going to kick you out, right? You can't say anything other than that. Okay, that is what he's saying. And the student is arguing that you kicking me out of class for stating that I believe there's only two genders, right? I only believe there's male and female. That's not inclusive, right? That doesn't align with trying to be inclusive, which is supposed to be the policy of the school, right? The school is saying that, well, there are more than, two genders or whatever because they're trying to be inclusive. But yet in their pursuit to be inclusive, they're actually being exclusive of people with opposite viewpoints, which is the exact same thing that's happening here in the United States today, right? I try to tell you this all the time. When these woke revolutionaries talk about diversity and inclusion, what they actually really mean is inclusion of everybody except straight white people, right? Straight white males particularly. That is literally what they mean. You see it all the time, okay? They don't actually mean inclusion of everybody. They don't actually mean the true definition of diversity. They don't want a diversity of thought. They just want diversity of faces, okay? This right here is saying, look, we want diversity, but we just don't want diversity of thought, right? Again, this is exactly what is happening in the U.S. today.
Depending on what
I get
gender.
But you're choosing to make an issue of this, because I said, are you really going to hear? That was your opportunity to keep quiet.
You made the issue with it on the website. You said, oh, this website doesn't have more than...
You were clearly given an opportunity not to pursue it. You chose to do so.
Yeah, because I think it's
You chose to do so. Yes, that's the key question. You chose to do so.
I think it's silly to have anything other than two genders. So
Okay.
Anything else is a personal
Could you please keep that opinion to your own house? Thank you. Not in the
So
school.
you get to put your opinion out in class, and my
No,
opinion.
I am not.
My opinion has to stay inside my house.
I am not putting my opinion. I am not putting my opinion out. I am stating what is national school authority policy. Okay?
Well, it's not scientific whatsoever.
Not every policy is scientific. Not every policy is scientific.
And you can't come out here and say that I'm not being inclusive when someone says
I
something
didn't
you
say
disagree with. So
I said what you were saying was not being
you
inclusive.
kicked me out of class. If you want to have a discussion about it, we could have had a discussion. You don't have to kick me out of class.
I'm sorry,
Waste 30 minutes of my time, where I could have been down revising, doing something else. Instead, I state something I believe in. You kick me out of class for 30 minutes. And I'm waiting on the
Take
court.
this somewhere else. You can make an official complaint.
I'm not going
Please
to
do.
make an official complaint.
Why not?
I just think it's.
I know what you think, and I know what the authority thinks. I know what the authority's point of view
Well, I know
is
what
very
science thinks.
clear.
Guys, what does this sound like? I know what the authorities think. I know the authorities' point of view. The authorities. And if you say anything outside of what the authorities say, right, then we can punish you for that. That's deemed to be speech that's not allowed. What does that sound like? Doesn't just sound like the conversation that we're having about, gender, right? It sounds like the conversation that we had about COVID, the pandemic. It sounds like the conversation that we're having about a whole lot of stuff in this country, where you actively have an administration that is trying to distort reality. Oh, we're not in a recession. The authorities said it. Even though we're in a recession by definition that we've used forever. Again, this is the type of stuff, guys, when you see it happen in some of these other countries, particularly Europe, you got to pay attention to it because eventually it comes here. Okay? Eventually it comes here. Europe is a lot more left, which means they believe in less freedoms, right? So again, when it happens there, you're going to see it happen in the United States. This is happening. This type of stuff right here has happened at a national level. National level. This is what the U.S. government is doing. This is what they're saying. If you disagree with the authorities, you're deemed to be a blank denier, right? You're peddling misinformation, yada, 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 right? And you got to be censored for it. Kicked off the internet, maybe even thrown in jail.
Very clear that we make no discrimination on the grounds of various...
I wasn't making discrimination. I'm simply saying there are two genders, male and female.
Yeah.
Anything else is a personal identification.
I'm sorry, but you chose to make an issue of making a point which is contrary to policy.
You
right?
made the issue when you complained about the website, sir.
Yes, and I made it in a way...
And I responded to that by
made,
saying, but there are only two genders. I
and
never
said
made the issue.
That I am not going here. You can choose, but you're making bad choices.
I'm making bad choices, okay.
I think-
Well, can I take my bag and go to the research area and start revising
Nope,
it?
you can stay here.
Okay, I'll stay here. Thanks for wasting my time.
I am not allowed to tell you how much of my time you have wasted.
Okay.
Yeah. So, again, that's video right there, guys. I feel like, kind of foreshadow everything, again, that will happen moving forward in the future where, again, you have people that are saying, because the authority said such and such and such, it must be true. Doesn't matter if it's grounded in any type of facts or science or anything like that. It must be true if the authorities say it, right? If the authorities say that there are more than two genders, it must be true. If the authorities say you must do this during a pandemic, you must do it. Again, it blows my mind the type of world that we're living in here. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.